What is the RIP? It's $20 million. And what's $20 million? Well, that would be the RIP, which is $20 million. Hello, everyone. I'm author R.L. Raintree, and this is Reels and Reads, where I give honest reviews and occasional spoilers. I know I'm a little late on this one, but I did watch The Rip when it first came out, but some newer movies kind of took precedence over this review. So by now, you've either watched it or didn't bother to watch it because of something that Matt Damon said. Just before we get into the review, let's get into what type of film this is. It's a cop drama. It's a whodunit, so it's kind of like a true crime mystery, action-packed film. Now, this isn't one of those films where it's going to take all day to get to what the point is. We get dropped off right in the center of the plot. Now, Matt Damon said that his experience working with Netflix, because this is his first time making a Netflix movie, Ben Affleck has done this before, but Matt Damon has not. And what he hated was that they had to be very repetitious and very obvious with the dialogue. And yeah, it's noticeable. It's noticeable. And I have to say that I probably would have noticed it even if Matt Damon hadn't said it. Like it was that noticeable. Yeah, but I probably wouldn't have said anything about it because, quite frankly, this is what happens with Netflix films. And by Netflix, I mean films that were made for Netflix. So, right off the bat, one of the things that I enjoyed is that I got to see Matt Damon and Ben Affleck again, which is why most people will go and watch this film or turn on this film at home because it's not in the theaters. It was nice to see them together again. You could definitely see that they have evolved as actors since the last time we saw them working together. Matt Damon has evolved far more than Ben Affleck, but they both have definitely progressed as actors. They have definitely improved their craft. So, that was nice to see. My favorite thing about this film is not having unnecessary backstory and filler. This starts immediately, and I'm not going to give any spoilers, but we immediately get dropped off in a situation where an undercover cop, as part of their team with Matt Damon and with Ben Affleck, um, she's murdered. And now we need to know who done it and who on the team did it. Because initially it's, whoever they were, investigating is probably who done it. It makes sense, right? Maybe she got found out, but immediately, and I'm talking within the first 5 minutes of the film, we're told, no, 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 this wasn't, like an unsub or something like that. Somebody within the group did this. They're immediately figuring out, wait, you're not questioning us to get all of the information that you need to try to narrow this down. You're questioning us like we're potential suspects, and this is everybody on the team. So now the team knows someone on the team is a suspect. Well, technically they all are, but someone is suspected of having committed this crime against one of their own, which, needless to say, is quite egregious. So for the rest of the film, we, the audience, are trying to figure out who done it. Which one of these characters did it? Was it Tiana Taylor? Was it Ben Affleck? Was it Matt Damon? Was it Stephen Yeun? Like it goes around and around like that. You think you know who did it. You will not know who did it until the very end. And that's another thing I liked about this film. Trying to figure out who was the one who murdered the police officer and who was the one that's the rat. Because while we're trying to catch the killer or, unmask the killer, we're also trying to figure out who's the rat that's snitching on the cop that did it. And quite frankly, why are we trying to find the rat? Like, we want to know who killed her, right? I mean, obviously the person who did it don't want to be found out. So there are two mysteries happening at once: who done it and who's snitching on who done it. So this all takes place with a rip, and the rip is basically they get some information. They go and they raid this person's house or whatever the situation is because they're told that there's a bunch of money hidden or drugs hidden or guns hidden, and then they get this big score which looks good on their team. That's the rip. Now the rip is $20 million. Or is it? Now, I'm not going to tell you why I said or is it because that would be a spoiler. But in general, yes, the rip is $20 million. You see, they pull up to this house because they were told that that's what's there. Matt Damon's in charge. Right underneath him is Ben Affleck. And they go and investigate a situation. And $20 million is now found. Now, remember, at least one of these cops is crooked, and you're sitting here with $20 million. So everything you think that is going to ensue ensues. And I loved every minute of that. It got to the point. It was action packed. The tension never let up. You were constantly thinking, wait, did you do it? Did you do it? Why did you say that? Why did you lie? Was that a lie? It will take you to about the final act of the film, the beginning of the final act or the end of the second act before you go, wait a minute, I think I got it. Now, if you're a true crime junkie, you're going to get it a lot sooner, but if not, it'll at least take you to the last act of the film. Now, what I didn't like about this film is exactly what Matt Damon said. It was highly repetitious. The rip, the rip, the rip, the rip. I'm like, put a needle on a record and scratch it. This is like, the rhythm, the rebel. Like, go ahead and put in the rip, the rip, the rip. Like, it could have been a rap song. It could have been a rap song. They said it that much. And I could never forget the amount because they kept saying it. But aside from what Matt Damon said, the thing that bothered me about the dialogue was in the final act. Once the big reveal has been made, we know who's the murderer. We know who's the snitch. Okay. And well, there's still one more twist we haven't figured out just yet, but we're at this part. And there were a couple things that happened, and I'm not going to spoil it again, even though I do occasional spoilers. There won't be one in this one because the movie's so short, spoiling it would just make it pointless to watch the film. But there is a moment when the dialogue is, or maybe it's because I'm smarter than you. And I'm like, what are we, 12? Like, what? Maybe it's because I'm smarter than you. Or maybe it's because I thought ahead of you. Or maybe it's because I knew you would do this, and then I did that, and then you did this, and then I did that. And it was like, what? It got really elementary with the dialogue. With the dialogue at that point. There came a point where not only are we spelling out everything that just happened as if I couldn't figure it out. Like, at this point in the film, we know who's the rat. We know who's the killer, or at least we've got it narrowed down to a couple of people. Like, we're on to it now. We've got several jinkies. But no one needs to remind us that somebody lied. Because at that point, it has been revealed that some lies have been told in order to flush out the bad guy. And then to say, well, maybe it's because I'm smarter than you. Like, really? I'm smarter than you. You don't get it because I'm smarter than you. Like, how elementary was that? That killed it for me. Like, I literally took a star away because of that was the dialogue that did it. Like, I could get over the repetition, but the I'm smarter than you, I was like, oh my God, if it wasn't for the fact that I needed to see how this ends, I'd be done at that point. Like, the dialogue was really a problem. Another problem that I had, which isn't a very big problem, is I think Tiana Taylor's starting to get typecast. She plays the hood-like girl who happens to be a cop, of course. She's got the bandana on her head. She's got the urban, lingo and vernacular. But I think if I had seen this before I'd seen One Battle After Another, I wouldn't have this opinion. But at this point, it's like, is that all they think of Tiana Taylor? Like, even when she was a cop in the film with Taraji Henson, the title I can't remember, with the Tyler Perry film, I'm drawing a blank, unfortunately. Even then, she was a little less urban, because I can't think of a better term, but it was still there. So I would like to see Tiana Taylor be something other than urban. I get it. She knows how to do it. But I believe in her enough to say that she could do more than what she's been typecast to do. Another thing I didn't like about the film is Ben Affleck. And I mean, no disrespect to this man. He has greatly improved as an actor. He has improved by leaps and bounds. But unfortunately, when you take an actor like Ben Affleck and put him next to an actor like Matt Damon, you see who has progressed further than the other. Clearly, Matt Damon can act circles around Ben Affleck, and that's saying a lot. Again, his acting was not bad. Ben Affleck was not bad. I don't want to give that impression. But unfortunately, it looks incredibly weaker when it's next to someone named Matt Damon, who was so much more of a stronger actor. And by stronger actor, I mean his facial expressions made you wonder if you got it wrong. There are times when you're like, Matt Damon did this shit. He did all this shit. And then you're like, maybe not. Maybe, I don't. You're going back and forth simply by his facial expressions. In 1 second, he can look at you like, okay, I think you might have been the one that killed the person. I don't really trust you. And then 5 seconds later, he's looking at you like, why are you following me around? Why don't you go ahead and walk over there with your back to me while I hold this very large piece of weaponry at your back? And you're just like, wait a minute, Matt, I thought you was a good... Like, it's going to take you to the last minute to figure out whether or not Matt Damon is good or bad or somewhere in between. And again, that's not a spoiler. Don't worry. I didn't ruin it for you. Overall, I gave this movie 3 stars. That does mean you should watch it, but I gave it 3 stars because of the dialogue and the predictability. Have you seen The Rip yet? Did the dialogue bother you? Was it too repetitious? Let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching.